Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Ecclesiastes 7. It says, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay to heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of face the heart is made glad. The heart of the wise is the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better for a man to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of fools. This also is vanity. Surely oppression drives the wise into madness, and a bribe corrupts the heart. Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Say not, why were the former days better than these? For it is not from wisdom that you ask this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, an advantage to those who see the sun. For the protection of wisdom is like the protection of money, and the advantage of knowledge is that wisdom preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of God, who can make straight what he has made crooked. In the day of prosperity be joyful, and in the day of adversity consider, God has made me the one as well as the other, so that man may find out anything that will be after him. In my vein, life I have seen everything. There is a righteous man who perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man who prolongs his life in his evil doing. Be not overly righteous, and do not make yourself too wise. Why should you destroy yourself? Be not overly wicked, neither to be a fool. Why should you die before your time? It is good that you should take hold of this, and from that withhold not your hand, for the one who fears God shall come out from both of them. Wisdom gives strength to the wise man more than 10 rulers who are in a city. Surely there is not a righteous man on earth who does good and never sins. Do not take to heart all the things that people say, lest you hear your servant cursing you. Your heart knows that many times you yourself have cursed others. All this I have tested by wisdom, I said. I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which was been is far off, and deep, very deep. Who can find it? I turned my heart to know and to search out and to seek wisdom and the scheme of things, and to know that wickedness of folly and the foolishness that is made madness. And I find something more bitter than death, the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and whose hands are fetters. He who pleases God escapes her, but the sinner is taken by her, because that is what I found, says the preacher. While adding one thing to another, I find the scheme of things, which my soul has sought repeatedly, but I have not found one among 1,000. One man among 1,000 I have found, but a woman among all these I have not found. See, this alone I found, that God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. Ecclesiastes 7. It's what we're looking at today. In 9, it says, "Be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools." There's lots of pieces in here. Not being too wise. In some ways, you can have that wisdom, and if you're trying to show off what you have, you end up to be a little arrogant. Which I'm not saying that doesn't happen to many of us from time to time. Right? But we just need to be careful. But yeah, be not quick in your spirit to become angry, for anger lodges in the heart of fools. Are you easy to anger? I'm not saying I do not fail at that a lot, which is true. Because things happen and I get frustrated. Then I get angry. Or I get overwhelmed and I get angry. I'm not sure how to deal with it all the time. But we need to find that balance. I am not the best at that balance. Everyone kind of deals with that in a different way. Because some pretty much can lash out a little bit trying to get something figured out, maybe say the wrong thing. Others will shut down and not say anything, and still nothing's really getting fixed. I mean, are you one when things are going wrong, you're trying to figure out what the problem is to get it taken care of? See, for me, when something goes wrong, it usually means we're going off the air, and that is no bueno. Not good. We cannot do that. We have to be on. So then I kind of freak a little bit. So how do you deal with that? Now, a lot of times things happen at home or things happen with friends. I've got a friend this week who's very angry because someone is leaving. They're actually moving out of town for a different job. They think they're making a very bad decision. So they are very angry with them and they're shutting down. Pretty much not doing much talking with anybody. And that's not good either. I know a lot of times we have the opinions we think that others should do, but again, it is their life and they make that decision because it is. It's my life. Do you like it when someone tells you what to do? You're doing this wrong. This is a very bad idea. Yeah, these are all things that we have to think about as we're dealing with other people, as we're dealing with people at work, as you're dealing with people at home. So it's really growing that professionally and personally. Have you ever been with that person? So you have friends that are religious. Doesn't matter what their denomination is, but they can be overly righteous. Have you been with that person? I see those people a lot. I'm not sure that I could ever call myself that I was ever overly righteous, but I mean, there was probably a time that I would beat you over the head with it a lot harder than what I will now with that Bible 2x4. So, we're looking at 9 about not being easily angered in your spirit, not being easily angered. Because that's just no good for anyone. And if you do, how fast do you come down off of that? I'm not saying that I deal with that emotion the best. And I don't always deal with issues the best. But after a while, when you're dealing with the same issue over and over again, and it seems to not get better, and it's out of your control, and then it ends up being on you to fix it every single time, you get annoyed. At least that's me. Here again with your beliefs, you're not shoving that down someone's throat. Don't be overly righteous, because that can turn people off. You know, what they say, the biggest reasons for atheists is because of Christians. And that would be those overly righteous that just, my way or the highway. We cannot have a decent conversation with you because we're going to get angry in our spirit when we're having this conversation, and we're just going to yell at you and not listen, not just have a conversation. You know, not being too wise. Now, you could be very wise because we want to be wise. We want to know things. We need to know things. We need to become smarter. We need to become better at what we do. Doesn't mean that you shove that in everyone's face. Again, try not to. I try to keep the bar low, is what I always say. Sometimes it slips out, and I do things wrong. But we just have to be careful. We have to be cautious on how we are doing things. Really kind of keep our anger in check. I know a lot of people that are not good at that. I'm saying I'm probably one of those just as easy. Because it can ruin a relationship. It could ruin your credibility. It could ruin your respect from others if they respect you because of your wisdom, things that you know, your knowledge. You know, gaining that, learning more and more every day. Ecclesiastes 7. Read that. How does it help you grow to be that better person, to be that better manager, to be that better friend, that better spouse, parent, sibling? Being better today than yesterday to help others also become their best. Right? Ecclesiastes 7. Read that today. If you enjoyed this, you can always share it on social media. Find me on social media as well. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. My buddy Jimmy or mybuddyjimmy.com. Maybe you can find me rather than all these scams that are finding me and all these other blackmail things that are trying to find me. It's like, really? Have no money. No moolah. Yeah. You can always follow, too, and see all the things that I share throughout the week. You know, learning something. Gaining that wisdom. Learning something new every day. A word. Yeah, I got a word of the day. Sometimes I share a lot of jokes and all kinds of interesting tidbits at times. But, yeah, you can always check that out. Also, wherever platform you're listening, give me a rating. Whatever that might be. Could be a 5-star. Could be a 10-star. All depends on your platform. I appreciate that as well. Ecclesiastes 7. Read that today. How does it help you be the best that you can be? How does it help you to really succeed in getting things done for you and those around you? And helping them to be better too, right? Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook. If you're looking for help with software, app, web development, be sure to check out my friends at ingenuitycompany.com. They believe in their clients. Software development, app development, web development, visioning, design thinking, diagramming, organizational development, strategy. They can help you at the Ingenuity Company. Find out more at ingenuitycompany.com.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.